All right, football fans, how's everybody doing? We finally got games this week. It's about time. It's been a long off season. Not terribly long for me because I do the hockey stuff too as well. But this is going to focus on my predictions for the NFL for the season. I'm going to go over the divisions, tell you where I think everybody's going to slot in. And then I'm not going to do a full playoff bracket. I'm going to tell you what I think the championship games will be, and then, of course, the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl champion. Now, this is a Miami Dolphins channel. However, I'm going to save you some trouble here. If you're a Dolphins fan looking to watch this video just to watch me say they're going to win the Super Bowl because I'm a Dolphins fan, that is not fixing to happen. Just know, not in this video. I don't think this year. I would be fine with being wrong, by the way. Okay? Now, if you don't know me, if you don't know my videos from the hockey channel, the way I do my predictions is, yes, I use basically what's going on the field or on the ice, but a lot of it comes down to just my gut feeling and what I feel is going to happen. Now, the AFC doesn't have a whole lot of room here. There's not a tremendous number of changes, so we're going to go ahead and get into the AFC first. So, AFC East. I do have the Dolphins winning the division at 12-5. Then we've got the Jets at 11-6, the Buffalo Bills at 10-7, and the Patriots at 8-9. You can see there that I have the Dolphins and Jets and Bills all making the playoffs, with the Dolphins winning the division. I feel like the Dolphins are going to do really good against the other teams in their division. You might hear my St. Bernard going to start snoring and dreaming any second. I feel the Dolphins are going to win the division because they're going to do so well within the division. But don't throw your panties on the stage just yet, Dolphin fans. Now, moving on to the AFC North. Bengals 11-6, Ravens 10-7, and then I have the Steelers and Browns tied at 8-9. I know there's a lot of people that kind of feel like the Steelers might be able to make a little bit of a comeback this year. I'm not feeling it. I don't really see where I'm not sure what people are watching other than the fact that they've got a championship caliber coach. Bengals and Ravens, they could flip-flop depending on if the Ravens can ever stay healthy. But if the Bengals just continue to stay consistent, I feel they'll win the division just by a game. Ravens will still make it into the playoffs. Moving on to the AFC South, this might be one of the easiest divisions in football to predict. The Jaguars at 12-5, the Titans at 9-8. I've got the Texans at 6-11, and then I've got the Colts as the worst team in the league at 3-14. Now, some of you might think that's a little bit much for the Jaguars, 12 wins, but look at the competition in the division, okay? They have 4 automatic wins playing the Texans and Colts. That means the rest of the year they only got to go 8-5 to get the 12-5. And yes, I know any team can beat any team on any given Sunday, blah, 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 blah. The Jaguars are going to win that division going away. I saw a couple people predicting the Titans to make the playoffs. It's possible. It's possible, but when you go through the AFC East and you look at Miami and Buffalo and the Jets, it's hard to pick any one of those 3 teams and say they're going to miss and the Titans will be in. I don't think the Titans are going to compete with the Ravens or the Bengals, and that just means Tennessee is out. All right, moving on to the AFC West. No huge surprises here. The Chiefs at 13-4, they get the top seed again. Chargers at 10-7, that's the Dolphins' opening day opponent. And then you got the Broncos at 8-9. And the Raiders at 6-7, unfortunately, for my buddy Jeff. Now, the Chiefs, I feel, again, they're going to get that top seed. You guys know I'm not a huge Kansas City Chief fan, but, you just can't take it away from them. They are what they are, and I feel like they're going to be the top seed once again. Now, before we get into the playoffs for the AFC, let's move on to the NFC. All right, NFC East, I have with the Cowboys at 12-5. Oh, excuse me, the Eagles at 12-5. Sorry, Cowboys fans. So I got the Eagles at 12-5, Cowboys at 10-7, the Commanders at 8-9, and the Giants falling off at 7-10. I don't think this is rocket science. I don't think this is some grand prediction. It's very plain vanilla white to see. This is how that division should lay out. I know there's some people that like the Cowboys, but come on, it's the Cowboys. They're going to screw it up at some point. All right. Moving on to look at the NFC North. All right. So you've got the Lions at 10-7. That's right. I'm picking the Detroit Lions to win the division. Then you got the Vikings at 9-8, and the Packers and Bears just miss out at 8-9. Now, yes, of course, you could swap. I'm not going to say the Bears are going to swap, and that might be a little bit high with the Bears. Might be a little bit high with the Bears, but I think they can play with the Packers. I think they can play with the Vikings. They might split. I was going to say sweep, but that's not what I was thinking. I was thinking split. The Vikings are kind of, they had a great season last year. A lot of people think they're going to fall off. 9-8 might be a little bit low. But regardless, I like the Lions. I'm a Lions fan this year. Just please let that damn team make the playoffs. Let their fans have some fun. All right. Moving on to the South. I've got the Saints at 10-7, the Panthers at 8-9, the Falcons at 7-10, and I am happy to report that the Tom Brady-less Tampa Bay Buccaneers will finish in last place at 6-11. The only team in this division that should even sniff the playoffs is whoever wins the division. And to be honest with you, you could put all four of these teams in a Yahtzee jar with their names and shake it up and pick a name out and say that team's going to finish 10-7, and you'll have just as much chance as predicting any of these teams could win a couple games than more. 10-7 in this division doesn't necessarily mean that they're a good team. It just means they did well in the division. A lot of these teams could split, but if one of these teams is even a little bit better, you could see the Saints win 4 or 5 games in the division, and that would lead to them winning the division. Our final division here is the NFC West. I've got the 49ers at 13-4, the Seahawks at 10-7, the unfortunate Rams at 6-11, and then the Cardinals at 5-12. Again, not a lot of change from last year's playoff teams, but there's not a lot of reason to change. Okay? You basically have people that think the Giants aren't going to do so well and the Lions are. But your top teams, especially in the NFC, there's nobody that's come close at this point to San Francisco and the Eagles. It's just not even close, which leads us to my AFC Championship game prediction is Jets versus Chiefs. Now, I'll pause here and say the Dolphin fans to say, wait a minute, wait. I thought the Dolphins won the division. Here is my Dolphin fan / Dolphin hater. I'm a Dolphin fan. Don't get me wrong. But I don't trust them. I do not trust the Miami Dolphins to do the right thing basically since ever. The last time they won a Super Bowl, I was 1 year old. And I've watched them screw up and screw up and screw up. So I think they're going to win the division. And I'm even going to go a step further. I think they're going to win the division because they're going to sweep the Jets during the season. They're going to get a home playoff game, and they're going to lose to the freaking Jets at home in the playoffs. Now, I know you're shaking your head and you're screaming, but be honest with yourself, Dolphin fans. You know damn well that sounds exactly like what the Dolphins would do. You know damn well that's exactly what they'll do is get our hopes up. We already beat them twice. We got a home playoff game. We got a healthy Tua. Let's go, and they'll screw it up. If you can look at the history of the Dolphins and find a different scenario, let me know in the comments. Now, the NFC Championship game, a repeat of last year, the Eagles versus the Niners. And you'll see there I've got the Super Bowl being the New York Jets versus the San Francisco 49ers. I was on record last year towards the end of the season. I kept saying the 49ers going to win the Super Bowl. I kept saying Brock Purdy, Super Bowl MVP. So that's what I'm going with again this year. I think the 49ers are going to win it all. And damn it, Brock Purdy is going to get his Super Bowl MVP. Now, why am I stuck on Brock Purdy getting Super Bowl MVP? Last year, when the Dolphins were playing the 49ers, my son and I, we stream all the games. And when Brock Purdy came on, Kyle looked at the screen, pointed and laughed, said, Brock Purdy. And I just looked at him and I'm like, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. You don't do that. Especially as a Dolphin fan. You do not laugh at the other team's quarterback coming in. Why? Because they beat us. Okay? If there's a team, again, that is capable of allowing a third, fourth, fifth, sixth string coming out of the stands, so the guy that was selling the beers is now the quarterback, and losing that game, it's the Miami Dolphins. You guys know who watched the hockey, how the Leafs were able to lose to the 40-year-old Zamboni driver. That the Dolphins or the Leafs or the Leafs or the Dolphins. They will find a way to screw it up. It's been 50 years since they won anything. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. And don't get me wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Just as much as last year with the Panthers when I said they were going to win the cup. And I had to go through the whole season going, I hope I'm right. I hope I'm right. Oh, my God, I hope I'm right. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But I don't trust it. I don't trust it one bit. And I don't have the stomach to pick the Chiefs again because I can't freaking stand them. So, yeah, in that AFC championship game, that's Jets versus Chiefs. That's how it ends up. Jets, Jets. And I tell you why. Number one, because I hate the Chiefs. Number two, because if Rodgers wins, in quotes, maybe he'll go to hell away and leave us alone in the division with Captain Interception and Allen and Buffalo. But look, I think the Dolphins are going to do good. I'm going to have my season preview out tomorrow. Don't hate me because I think they're going to lose to the Jets. You know I'm not wrong. You know, based on past performance, past history, there's no reason I should expect us to beat the Jets in the playoffs. And don't bring up the A.J. Dewey mud game. This is different. That was before. That was with Shula, and we had Hall of Fame players. That was a different team, a different franchise. Okay? And we still ended up losing that Super Bowl to Washington. All right? I would love nothing more than for the Dolphins to win the Super Bowl. The division we play in is going to be really, 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 really tough to do that because Kansas City is likely and liable to get the number one seed from now until forever because the AFC is going to beat the crap out of each other. So we'll see how these play out. I'm interested to see. Now, tomorrow's going to be my Dolphins season preview. Thursday, I'll have my first week of picks out. If you're interested in this channel, please do hit the subscribe button. I got over 7,000 subscribers on my other channel. That's the hockey channel. I've done some football videos over there in the past. Now I've created this channel, which is Flying Fluffy Football. So let's get that subscriber up count, guys. I really appreciate it. All right. I said it. Brock Purdy, Super Bowl MVP. I said it last year, too, but I didn't say that at the beginning of the season. Last year, at the beginning of the season, I said the Packers were going to win the Super Bowl. So that kind of gives you an idea and shows you how much I know. But look, if I'm going to be wrong, let's do it this year. But I can't beg to be wrong too much or that'll screw up the backwards reverse jinx juju that I'm trying on the Dolphins. So, all right. Appreciate the support. I'll see you guys again later.